Let's go Ravens! We're counting down the hours until the game against the Steelers, and I must confess that I'm very excited. If you believe that we're going to beat the Steelers, hit the like button hard. If possible, comment like this: Go Ravens! Go Lamar Jackson! Now we need to talk about a topic that has generated a lot of opinions behind the scenes. Diontae Johnson's saga with the Baltimore Ravens has officially come to an end. After weeks of speculation and a series of dramatic events, the Ravens announced that they have released the wide receiver. The decision, while not entirely unexpected, signals the end of a turbulent chapter for Johnson and the organization. This move comes after Johnson's controversial refusal to enter a game following the Ravens' matchup against the Eagles, a moment that set the tone for what would become a growing conflict between the player and the team. The initial response to Johnson's actions was swift. The Ravens suspended him for one game. At the time, there was speculation that the punishment would serve as a wake-up call and allow both sides to regroup and move on. Instead, it only seemed to deepen the divide. Johnson, previously a standout with the Steelers and then the Panthers, was brought in by Baltimore to add spark to their offense, but his short tenure with the Ravens failed to live up to expectations. The suspension from the Giants game was just the beginning, as in the weeks that followed, Johnson and the team became embroiled in what appeared to be an irreparable stalemate. As the drama unfolded, rumors swirled about the Ravens' options. Some speculated that the team might attempt to mend the relationship, given their initial investment in acquiring Johnson. Others believed that Baltimore might simply cut its losses and move on, especially with the distractions threatening to undermine their playoff aspirations. Ultimately, the team chose the latter. For an organization that prides itself on discipline, unity, and long-term planning, the decision to release Johnson was as much about sending a message as it was about moving forward. This decision does not come without consequences. Johnson's release means that the Ravens will forfeit a valuable compensatory pick, a loss that cannot be understated for a team that places significant value on draft capital. However, the Ravens appear to have weighed this against the broader implications of keeping a player whose presence had become a source of friction within the locker room. The team's leadership, from general manager Eric DeCosta to head coach John Harbaugh, made it clear that maintaining focus and cohesion is more important than holding onto a potential asset that no longer serves the team's best interests. Johnson's departure is also a stark reminder of the challenges that come with integrating new talent into an established system. While the Ravens are known for their ability to identify and develop players who fit their culture, this situation highlights the difficulty of managing personalities and expectations in the high-stakes environment of professional football. It's a lesson not just for Baltimore, but for any team looking to navigate the complexities of roster building and player management. Now, the focus shifts to how the Ravens will adapt without Johnson. The timing of his release, just ahead of a critical divisional clash with the Steelers, puts added pressure on Baltimore's already depleted wide receiver core. Rashad Bateman's availability remains uncertain, while Nelson Agholor has been ruled out for the game. This leaves the Ravens leaning heavily on rookie sensation Zay Flowers, whose breakout season has been a bright spot for the team, and Tylan Wallace, who now has a chance to prove himself in a starting role. Anthony Miller, recently promoted from the practice squad, could also see his first game action since 2021, though his impact is expected to be limited as he acclimates to game speed. For Ravens fans, Johnson's release may bring a sense of closure to a situation that has loomed over the team in recent weeks. It also shifts the narrative back to what matters most, preparing for a playoff push and maintaining focus on the field. While the loss of a potential contributor like Johnson is not ideal, the Ravens' decision reflects their commitment to building a team that prioritizes unity and discipline. As the season reaches its most critical juncture, Baltimore's ability to rally around its remaining players will be put to the test. Fans will now watch closely to see how the team responds, both in the immediate aftermath of Johnson's release and in the long-term development of their roster. With Diontae Johnson out of the lineup, the Baltimore Ravens enter a crucial time of the season, needing to overcome the challenges and adjustments that this decision requires. The player's departure opens up space for reflection not only on the team's current situation, but also on the implications of his absence in one of the most important moments of the schedule, the matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. This rivalry is always marked by intensity, and now, without Johnson, the team needs to reorganize its strategy to ensure that the impact of this decision does not detract from its performance on the field. The absence of Nelson Agholor makes the situation even worse, as his injury will rule him out of a game in which the depth of the receiving core will be put to the test. With Rashad Bateman still being evaluated to determine his availability, the weight of the responsibility falls mainly on rookie Zay Flowers, who has been one of the great highlights of the season. Flowers is on the verge of surpassing the 1,000 receiving yards mark, and the game against the Steelers offers the perfect opportunity to cement his status as a rising star in the NFL. Meanwhile, Tylan Wallace, who has been patiently waiting for a chance to shine, could finally get his chance to show off his potential as a starter. Wallace has the tools to make an impact, especially with his precise route-running ability and physicality in the passing game. A matchup against a solid defense like the Steelers will be the perfect test for him to prove that he can be a key part of the Ravens' offense. Another piece on the board is Anthony Miller, who was promoted from the practice squad to help fill the void left by the absences. While his immediate contributions may be limited, the decision to activate him demonstrates the Ravens' commitment to exploring all available options. However, the focus of the offensive plan should remain on reliable players like tight ends Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. Andrews, in particular, is a central piece of the Ravens' offense, and his experience will be vital to keeping the offensive unit flowing in a game that promises to come down to the details. On the defensive side, the Ravens are also adapting to the changes. Desmond King has been called back up to fill in on punt returns, a role previously filled by Tylan Wallace. This move illustrates the team's ability to adapt, even in adverse situations, and reinforces the importance of making the most of the talent available on the roster. In addition to the tactical implications, Deontay Johnson's departure also raises questions about the locker room dynamics. The Baltimore Ravens have always prided themselves on an organizational culture based on discipline and cohesion. While the decision to release Johnson could be interpreted as an admission of error on the part of management, it also sends a clear message that commitment to team values trumps any individual name or talent. Now, fans' eyes turn to what comes next. How will the Ravens respond? Will Johnson's absence create an insurmountable hole in the offense, or will this adversity serve as a catalyst to bring the team closer together? With such an important game on the horizon, there is no time to lament. Preparation must be impeccable, and the players available must be ready to excel. The Ravens have a history of overcoming challenges and adapting in crucial moments, and this appears to be yet another chapter in that narrative. As their rivalry with the Steelers continues to unfold, the Baltimore team has an opportunity to turn this situation into fuel for a memorable performance. Whether it's through rookies like Zay Flowers or veterans like Mark Andrews, the team must unite around a common goal, securing a victory and continuing their quest for a division title and a strong playoff position. Go Ravens! Go Super Bowl! The Baltimore Ravens are undeniably one of the favorites heading into this year's Super Bowl chase. With a roster packed with talent, a coaching staff renowned for its strategy, and a fan base that embodies unwavering support, we're poised to make a statement. Every game, every snap, and every moment counts as we aim to carve our path to the biggest stage in football. From the explosive offense led by key playmakers to the relentless defense that shuts down opponents, the Ravens are a force to be reckoned with. But this journey is about more than talent. It's about heart, determination, and an unyielding belief that we have what it takes to bring the Lombardi Trophy back to Baltimore. We're ready to give it our all, every ounce of effort, every bit of strategy, and every drop of passion to ensure we seize this opportunity. Let's stand united, Ravens fans, as we soar towards the ultimate goal, the Super Bowl championship. Together, we'll make history. Go Ravens!